Welcome to the Coach's Bench on Mix 104.1. Each week on Coach's Bench, Coach Marty Wheeler brings us the information about the Cleveland Blue Raiders. And Coach Wheeler, welcome to week 2, and a tough one last week, but that was a really good football team that was on the other side of the field.
Sure, we talked about that, last week, that, Knox Central was the two-time defending state champions in 5A, and I think that's what you saw, the difference in the game was a program like that who's won with that success, especially recently. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and when you make mistakes, they make you pay for them. And when we have opportunities and we got to make plays, we got to make them if we're going to get the result that we want. Really proud, though. I want to say this. Really proud of the effort our kids gave. I thought we fought, from the beginning to the end, and we had, Terry, for the first time, against a team of that caliber, we had a chance to win the football game.
Yes, you did.
And we just didn't make some plays, and I don't think it was because our kids weren't trying to make the plays. It just sometimes the ball don't bounce your way, and we got to learn from that. And like I told them, when we start, we're going to make those plays, and when we start making them, then we'll get the results we want.
I thought Bridges came up with some nice catches. Dustin Thomas, a highlight catch on one of his. He came up with some nice catches. You had some, and Kinsey threw the ball most of the time on target. So I thought at times plays looked good.
Sure. I think we had 1 3-and-out the entire game. So we moved the football up and down the field, and then, there were some times we did cash in. I thought there were some plays in the game that were no one play is a difference in the game, but still, I think the first time we had to settle for a field goal, I thought Clay got hit early down there in the end zone, but Gage would be the first one to tell you he should have got the ball out quicker. And so, a combination of that is that's how plays are not made. And so he did a better job of it on the 2-point throw. That's how quick he got it out. And you see the separation between the DB and the receiver. But, I thought Gage threw the ball extremely well most of the time. And then Destin, Clay had some catches. Bridges came up big when he had a chance to catch the football. But also, our offensive line protected, better than they did a year ago against them. They hang their hat on defense at Central, and so I was proud of that. Also, you got to say that I thought Tito, of course, ran the ball hard, along with Markel McKinley ran the ball really hard, and I think you saw some flashes of him and what he could bring to the table for us as well. And would have liked to seen Tito get loose some more, but I think that goes a lot with being said, the fact that Central loaded the box. They committed to the fact that they weren't going to let him just run the football on them. But that's sort of what I like about our offense now. You got to make a decision, and as long as we're executing, you can't be right. If you want to load the box, we can throw the football on you, and if you want to get enough people out there to feel comfortable with the passing game, then we feel like we got the numbers to run the football. So that's really what an offense, I think, is supposed to look like. And so very proud of our guys for executing what they did, just a couple plays short.
In the press box, we're always watching where the ball goes and who has it. Any lineman, offense or defense, grade out pretty high for you that you felt had a real good game?
I thought Bo Baker played a really, really good game at center for us. Evan and Nicodemus both, I thought, handled their own at tackle with their linebacker, who's a really good football player. I saw at times when they were handling him. That says enough. They're handling him. But we also are inexperienced up front too, and with a couple spots, and so they were getting their first taste of varsity football. And I think that's what is hard to believe when you look out there and you're playing a team of that caliber and to play them the way we did. And we had, I think, 3 kids on defense that ever played a varsity football game and 4 on offense. So we were we were green and we were big-eyed. I think the point I'm making is you could see it in the first half on the sidelines, and I think it reflected in the way we played early in the game. Our guys were a little big-eyed, even though it was not the crowd that it could have been. It didn't matter. It was the crowd, the lights were on, there's people, the cheerleaders, and the whole 9 yards of the band. And our guys, I think, were a little bit nervous, a little bit on edge. So that's why you hear me talk about getting experience and getting out there and getting your feet wet. It's big, and those guys got that Friday night.
Well, at least they got to hit somebody other than their own teammates.
That's a good thing, sure. And then sometimes they got hit. I don't know. Like I tell them all the time, it's more blessed to give than to receive. And so I don't know. Sometimes we were maybe been receiving out there the other night, but a lot of times we were giving them too. So
yes, you were.
We are making progress. There's no doubt about it.
We'll take our first break on Coach's Bench with the always entertaining Coach Marty Wheeler. This guy keeps me laughing on the air, off the air all the time. But we'll be back in just a moment. Coach Wheeler, what kind of week has it? Of course, this is pre-recorded, but what kind of week has it been so far for you as far as practice and so forth?
Well, I think it's been a really good week so far. Our kids are out there. The biggest thing that I saw Friday night to let me know that we're heading in the right direction as a program wasn't on film. All right, nobody saw it but the coaches and the kids, and it was our players were pissed off that they didn't win, and that's the first time that I've seen us, with the exception of maybe of one game last year, where our kids looked upset that they didn't win the football game. And I think that when you see kids upset after a game for not winning, what that tells me as a coach is that it means something to them. And so that was the biggest thing I took away from it. And I think they've also heard me say enough that, whichever team could put what happens behind them, good or bad, on Friday night, the quickest has the best chance to succeed the next week. I think our guys have done that. They really want to be good, Terry. And they're learning that it's like if you stuck me in a geometry class, with some of our kids, they would definitely pick up on it before I would, and it would seem like they would wonder why I can't figure it out. And I think it's that way sometimes when you're learning how to win. It's a process for sure, but it is I can see where we're headed. And I want us to get there now, and we can get there, but. It really now it's up to them to when we get there, because our coaches have done a good job of putting them in position to succeed, which is, I think, their number one job. And so now they've got to go make plays, and hopefully that's going to start Friday night.
Well, it's always a good sign when you don't like losing, because when you start accepting it,
you don't stay around here very long.
We'll take our final break, come back with Coach Marty Wheeler on Coach's Bench on Mix 104.1 in just a moment. Any injuries thus far this week since last week's game? Anybody that you're sure might not be out there Friday?
At this time, no.
Okay,
at this time, we seem healthy. Some of us have had to learn. That's one of the things we have learned this week. Some of us have learned that you're going to be sore when you play football, and that doesn't mean you need to miss a day of practice, or you need to stand to the side and just get a mental day. We don't. That's not how we operate. So, and I think that some of them, that's part of growing up, and I think some of them realize that nobody really feels like practicing on a Tuesday when it's hot. You know what I mean? And they know that's going to be the day where it's probably the most difficult for them. But I think we had some learn that you can go to practice and even if you don't feel like it, and work hard, and when you get through it, you feel better than you thought you would. So we're learning every day around here, Terry. It's really I'm gonna write a book about it for sure.
I want a copy.
I'm telling you.
And a signed copy now.
They'll go for once somebody finally, if we get one or two to read it, the price will go up. They'll be in demand, I promise you, because there's some exciting things that I've seen since I've been here.
Well, this is your second year. And from the first game last year until now, as an observer, things are just so different in a positive direction. And you keep saying it's a process, so it's not instant overnight. You can't click your finger and things are where they want to be. But it is a process, and you keep making steps. To be honest with you, Coach, I think you have a fantastic football staff this year. You brought in some new guys, and they're hungry, and they've been through the wars. They know what to do, but, I mean, this is a very good staff.
Sure it is. I'm very blessed to have them, and I tell them every day how much I love them and how blessed I am to have them around me, and I know that they have never been around anybody that was more easy to work with, and it was better for them than me.
Okay.
And if they see this, I'm sure they'll get a big kick out of that one. But
Yeah.
I would say, I said earlier, seen a lot of exciting things. I've seen some exciting things. I think the word was more interesting things that I've seen around here. But like you said, yes, we are headed. We are doing things, I think, and our kids do. It means something to them not to go out there, because they've worked hard. I mean, when they allowed us to start working, our kids have worked hard.
Yeah.
And so when you work hard, and you want things, and it does pay off, and I want our guys to understand that. Hard work pays off. It still does. I mean, that's not going anywhere. But, it's the biggest thing for them is they've got to understand that when we have opportunities to separate ourselves, no matter who the opponent is, you got to believe that you're going to win the football game, and we're getting there. And how you do that is you have to make plays and actually win ball games. And I think our guys are headed in that direction. Our coaches are definitely pushing our guys, and our expectations are high for this group. I don't know what's in store for this group as a result, or from a result-oriented situation, but I know this: they're a lot of fun to coach, and they enjoy being around each other. I think we're as much of we're becoming a team now, and those are things that needed to be fixed.
Got to ask you one more question before we close out the coaches bench with Coach Marty Wheeler here on Mix 104.1. Thanks to Austin for being our producer and making the show go well for us. Coach, what about Hardin Valley, Cleveland's first trip to Hardin Valley? You played them at home last year and won. What do you think of them this year?
Well, I mean, they look similar to the. When I mean similar to last year, they got some good-looking kids. Their schemes are what they were last year. They haven't changed a lot. They haven't had any coaching changes. But offensively, they like to run the football, and they like to run pass option off of that. But they also will. You got to be ready for everything. They'll double. They run double reverse pass plays, and those kind of things that if you're not disciplined, that they can try to hurt you with. So they keep you on your toes. We got to be disciplined every snap and do. I say it 1,000 times a day. Do your job and trust your teammate to do theirs. Offensively, for us, we've got to be able to sustain blocks like always, and we got to protect our quarterback. And we need to use some of our speed. I think we may be able to use that. We're going to try to use that to help create some things for us offensively. And I mean, we got some guys that can make plays. They just got to make them. And so that's what we're looking for. What I'm looking for this Friday is I want to see our guys play up to their potential. And then when it's time to make plays, I say it all the time: playmakers make plays. So if you want to tell me you're a playmaker, that's fine. Show me you're a playmaker. Okay, so that's what we're looking for Friday night. And if we do those things and we're focused, I like our chances.
That's going to wrap up Coach's Bench. Stay tuned to Mix 104.1, either on the regular signal or on the app, where you can pick it up anywhere in the world on the My Mix 104.1 app. It's Cleveland football coming up.